Do you ever feel drained, but can't explain why? Is your time, energy, and peace being controlled by others? If you don't set your own boundaries, the world will set them for you, and rarely in your favor. In a world overflowing with demands, opinions, and constant noise, strong boundaries are not just helpful. They're essential for mastering yourself. Boundaries aren't walls. They're guidelines that protect your peace, your energy, and your principles. They clearly define what you will and will not accept from others and from yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "People try to get rid of the things that belong to them and cling to the things that do not." This is still true today. Many people give away their time, energy, and focus to things that don't serve them, while neglecting what truly matters. The Stoics understood, if you don't set boundaries, others will do it for you, and usually not in your best interest. Stoic boundaries are not about isolation, they're about living with intention, self-discipline, and self-respect. Here are 5 powerful Stoic lessons that show you what real, unshakable boundaries look like. Point 1. Your time is yours. Protect it like it's gold. Time is your most precious resource. Unlike money, once it's spent, you never get it back. Yet, most people waste it on meaningless obligations, shallow distractions, and someone else's priorities. Seneca once warned, people are frugal in guarding their personal property, but most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy: time. So what do strong time boundaries look like? You don't overcommit. You say no to anything that doesn't align with your goals. You control your own schedule, others don't. You eliminate distractions and protect your deep work time. You create space for solitude and personal growth. How to apply it? Audit your day. Where is your time really going? Cut out anything draining your time without giving value. Block out time for reflection, growth, and deep focus, and defend it fiercely. Learn to say no without guilt and without needing to explain. Stoic reminder, if you don't respect your own time, why would anyone else? 2. Emotional boundaries. Other people's problems are not yours to carry. One of the most profound teachings in Stoicism is this: you can't control other people, you can only control yourself. Epictetus reminds us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. In other words, no one can drain your emotional energy unless you allow it. What do strong emotional boundaries look like? You don't absorb other people's emotions. You support others, but you don't carry their pain. You don't overextend yourself emotionally. You recognize your limits and honor them. You don't let guilt or obligation dictate your emotional state. You protect your inner peace, no matter what's going on around you. How to apply this in real life? Stop being an emotional dumping ground. You're not required to listen endlessly to negativity or drama. Step back when needed, emotionally detach when necessary. Offer solutions, but if someone refuses to change, let it go. Practice Stoic distancing. When faced with emotional manipulation, pause and tell yourself, this is their problem, not mine. Stoic reminder, you are not responsible for fixing everyone. You are responsible for protecting your peace. 3. Your principles are non-negotiable. Never compromise them for anyone. Boundaries often stem from fear of conflict. People bend their values to keep the peace with family, friends, bosses, thinking it'll avoid tension. But in reality, compromising your core values creates resentment and inner conflict. Marcus Aurelius urged, just do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. A true Stoic does not betray their principles, not for comfort, not for approval, not for convenience. What do strong moral boundaries look like? You don't change your beliefs just to fit in. You stand firm, even when it's unpopular. You don't tolerate unethical behavior. You leave situations that violate your values. You don't seek validation at the cost of integrity. You choose self-respect over external approval every time. How to apply it? Define your core values. Write them down. Exit toxic spaces that clash with your ethics. If something crosses the line, walk away. No need to explain. Prioritize long-term integrity over short-term acceptance. Every time you choose principle over popularity, you grow stronger inside. Stoic reminder, The only approval that truly matters is your own. 4. Your energy is limited. Spend it wisely. Just like time, your mental and physical energy is a finite resource, and most people don't realize they're draining it until it's already depleted. If you constantly give your energy away to toxic relationships, useless tasks, or never-ending obligations, there will be nothing left for what actually matters. Seneca warned, "We let ourselves drift with every breeze. We are frightened by shadows and set upon by empty fears. Without strong boundaries, life pulls you in every direction, except the one you truly want to go." What do strong energy boundaries look like? You don't waste energy on negativity. You avoid gossip, drama, and pointless arguments. You don't let others control your emotions. You stay grounded even in chaos. You don't spread yourself thin. You focus on what matters. How to apply it? Identify your energy drainers. Make a list of people, habits, and tasks that exhaust you. Eliminate or limit them. Prioritize rest and recovery. Protect your mind and body with solitude, exercise, and mindfulness. Refuse to engage in pointless battles. Not every argument deserves your presence. Sometimes, walking away is the wise move. Stoic reminder: energy wasted on the meaningless is energy stolen from the meaningful. 5. You owe no one an explanation for prioritizing your cell phone. Of the biggest emotional traps we fall into is feeling guilty for putting ourselves first. Society often teaches us that self-care is selfish, that we should always be available to others, no matter the cost. But Stoicism teaches you can't give to others if you're running on empty. Taking care of your mind, body, and emotions is not selfish, it's responsible. Marcus Aurelius said, "Love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony." In other words, accept that you can't meet everyone's expectations, and that's okay. What do strong self-care boundaries look like? You don't justify your need for rest or space. You take it unapologetically. You don't let guilt dictate your choices. You act from logic, not pressure. You don't explain yourself to those who won't understand. You simply act. How to apply it? Say no without guilt. Decline what doesn't serve you. No need for long explanations. Prioritize self-care like it's your job, because it is. You may disappoint others, but if you try to please everyone, you'll end up betraying yourself. Stoic reminder: you owe no one an explanation for protecting your peace. 6. Your mind is sacred. Not everyone deserves access to it too. Many people leave the doors of their minds wide open. They let in gossip, absorb negativity, and get pulled into shallow debates. But a Stoic knows your thoughts shape your reality, and you are the gatekeeper. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you want a strong mind, you must guard what enters it. What do strong mental boundaries look like? You don't allow toxic opinions to take root. You're selective about who and what you listen to. You don't engage in pointless debates. You filter out noise and distractions. You focus only on what matters and let go of the rest. How to apply it? Be selective about your conversations. Distance yourself from people who constantly bring negativity. Limit your exposure to social media and news. Most of it is noise, not wisdom. Practice mental minimalism. Simplify your thoughts. Focus only on what truly matters. Discard the trivial. Stoic reminder: not all thoughts deserve your attention. Choose them wisely. 7. You set the standard for how others treat you. As a simple truth: people treat you based on what you allow. If you tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or inconsistent behavior, you're teaching others that it's okay to treat you that way. Boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about enforcing standards and standing by them. Epictetus said, "Keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." The Stoic way is to expect excellence from yourself and demand it from others too. What do strong relationship boundaries look like? You never accept disrespect, not once. You surround yourself with people who uplift you. You don't explain or justify your standards. People either respect them or they leave. How to apply it? Communicate your expectations clearly. If someone crosses the line, speak up immediately. If they continue to disrespect you, remove them. No negotiation, no second chances. Stoic reminder, you can't force people to respect you, but you can choose to stop giving them access to your life. Point 8. Not every battle is worth fighting. Choose your conflicts wisely. A weak person gets triggered by everything. They argue over petty things, chase minor wins, and waste time and energy proving themselves to people who don't matter. A Stoic, he chooses his battles with precision, like selecting arrows in a life or death hunt. Seneca advised, he who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. In other words, most conflicts just aren't worth your peace. What do strong boundaries look like? You don't react to every insult or criticism. You don't waste time trying to prove yourself to the wrong people. You engage only when the battle serves a greater purpose. How to apply it? Before reacting, ask, is this conflict necessary? If not, let it go. Train yourself to pause. Let the anger fade before you respond. Stay focused on your long-term goals. If a conflict doesn't serve them, it's not worth your energy. Stoic reminder, sometimes the most powerful response is silence. 9. You do not rescue people from their own choice zone of the biggest traps is feeling like it's your job to save others. You try to protect friends from bad decisions, stretch yourself thin, and end up sacrificing your well-being, all for people who refuse to change. But Stoicism teaches that each person is accountable for their own choices. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. You can't force people to grow. You can only lead by example. What do strong boundaries look like here? You don't take responsibility for other people's bad decisions. You offer help only to those ready to help themselves. You don't let guilt manipulate you into self-sacrifice. You detach from the outcome. You're not in charge of fixing anyone. How to apply it? Let people face their consequences. Don't shield them from reality. Offer help only when it's received with responsibility. If they won't change, step back. Remember, your job is to live your best life, not manage someone else's. Stoic reminder, you can't save someone who refuses to swim. Let them learn. 10. You control your reactions. No one can make you feel anything without your permission. Most people believe others make them angry, sad, or anxious. But that's just an illusion. The truth is, no one holds power over your emotions unless you give it to them. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you embrace this, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the master of your mind and your life. What do strong emotional boundaries look like? You don't let insults or negativity affect your mood. You don't react impulsively. You respond with reason instead of emotion. You train yourself to stay centered, no matter what happens. How to apply it? Develop emotional detachment. Become the observer of your feelings. Practice the pause. When triggered, breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Remind yourself, you always choose how you respond. No one can make you angry. That choice is yours. Stoic reminder, master your reactions and you master your life. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about guarding your mind, energy, and values so you can focus on what truly matters. The 10 Stoic principles for unshakable boundaries. 1. Your time is yours, protected fiercely. 2. You are not responsible for others' emotions. 3. Your values are non-negotiable. 4. Your energy is limited, spend it wisely. 5. You owe no one an apology for prioritizing yourself. 6. Your mind is sacred, guard what enters. 7. You set the standard for how others treat you. 8. Not every battle is worth fighting. 9. You don't rescue people from their own choices. 10. You control your reactions. No one else does. The world will test your boundaries. People will push, demand, manipulate, and challenge you. But the strength of your boundaries reflects the depth of your self-respect. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The more you protect your peace, your mind, and your standards, the stronger and freer you become. Set your boundaries. and stand by them.